Hey, good morning, beautiful people. I'm back. I took a little YouTube break. Not long. I did not make it long at all, you guys, honestly, but I just wanted some time alone to reflect, to continue just growing and learning. In one of my last lives, my friend Lise popped in and told me that I should read The Power of Now. Well, I haven't been reading. I do use my wrist quite a bit, so it's just like an extra thing that exacerbates that pain. But I got The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle on Audible, so I've been listening to that. I've only gotten through the first 2 channels, but you guys, I feel so freaking grounded. I feel so empowered and inspired and just exciting after reading the little bit that I did. So I wanted to share some things with you guys. The first chapter talks about how we are not our minds. I don't know if you guys have heard this concept before, but it seems so like obvious on one hand, and then on the other hand it's kind of like, what are you talking about? We constantly have thoughts. Like, how is what's coming into our head? I can understand like the unconscious things, right? There's things that pop up in everyone's heads that you're like, whoa, that doesn't vibe with me. That doesn't like align with who I'm trying to be, or, who I am. But ultimately your mind is just, it's just an extra tool, and we need to learn how to leverage that and use it to our advantage. But we have to detach. We have to, because we are constantly getting stuck in these thought pattern loops. We're thinking about the past, things that have happened, people that have hurt us. So there's a lot of pain and a lot of shame attached to the past. And in general, those are going to bring up feelings and emotions of depression. And then likewise, when we're so like focused on the future and obsessed, playing out all these scenarios in our heads, like, if I do this, it's going to take me down this branch, and then that's going to veer off, and all these things are going to happen, and we're just making up scenarios that's going to cause us anxiety. So the future has not happened yet. It's really, no one knows what's in store. So the goal is to live right here, right now. We need to work on being present, slowing down in everyday movements. So we're talking about the mundane, the chores, the things we don't want to do. We're not rushing through them. That's just signaling to our brain that, we don't really want to be here, and our brain is going to wander and kind of go elsewhere. And staying mindful and staying present is something that has changed my life. I have a long way to go yet. I have a long way to go, even in my healing journey, when I know that I should be staying present. Like, that's the goal. My mind still spirals. I still kind of ruminate on things. But now that I know about where I want to be and how I want to live my life in, the space of the here and now, when I catch my mind kind of going through all these creative, like wild scenarios, right, I can stop, take a pause. And then what I'm learning to do in that moment, and that this was in the book, is learning to sit with our painful self. So everybody has this self within them that is just filled with pain, with hurt, with trauma, with loss, all the things. So our brain is kind of like trying to protect us by coming up with all the scenarios, but really what it's doing is sabotaging. Like, there's some times, right, where your intuition is going to know what you need to do, but I believe that doesn't even come in thought form. I think your thoughts, all of them, even if we perceive them to be good or true, take them all with a grain of salt. They're all natural, just fleeting thoughts. We don't have to entertain them. We certainly don't want to act on them, but we can kind of sit with them, not judge them, just accept them. So this book that I'm listening to, The Power of Now, also talks about the fact that we're the watcher. So we're not our minds. We're the watchers of this experience that we're going to. And I just found that so fascinating. If you can kind of frame your mindset and work towards becoming the watcher of your life, and kind of accepting when emotions flood your body, right? When you have a physical feeling of emotions in your body, it's almost inevitable that your mind is going to try to dissect what's happening. Oh, I feel anxious. Okay, my mind's going to be like, well, why could that be? Well, your mind could give you 40 different reasons. That's not really going to get to the root. That's not going to be helpful at all. So just learning, instead of going in these mind spirals and trying to figure everything out, right? Like humans, our brains, we're literally wired to solve puzzles and like figure things out. But when it comes to our life and who we are and just existing and being, it's really not that complicated. Like, I've certainly been overcomplicating things. I have attached to my mind and my thoughts for way too many years, and that's really why I'm going down this journey. Like, I know what I'm doing is not working. When I experience severe depression in the past, when I experience anxiety on a daily basis, and now, right, we're dwindling down to where it's less and less, but ultimately I want to get to that place where I'm just living in the present and I'm at peace. I don't have to worry about the future because it doesn't exist. I don't have to worry about the past because that also doesn't exist. That's like a storyline version, right, that we tell ourselves, but the only thing that actually exists is the here and now, literally this second. The second chapter of The Power of the Now is talking about pain, and I'm gonna dissect into different spots here. I can't remember if this is from the reading that I did or if I saw this elsewhere within the last week, but I think it was in The Power Now. Most people feel like it's the pain that really kills them deep down. It's the pain that eats away at us, and really it's shame. It's the shame. And a way to work through that is realizing, one, that we're not our mind, right? And two, we need an ego death. We need to kill our ego. Kill it. It's a safety mechanism. We attach to our interests things that, you would describe yourself like, oh, these are the things that I like, this is me, but actually those aren't you. That's not what makes up you. There's nothing inherently like wrong with you or anything that you need to add into your life to make your self-worth higher. You're already enough exactly how you are. Edgar talked about how emotions, or how there's like an opposite of everything, right? So you think in a relationship, there's love, is what we typically think of, and the opposite of that is hate. But he rose a really good point that true love can actually only be found from within us. From within our deep, deep soul is where true love is. So when we're out seeking that love from other people, what we're actually getting, it's a combination of, it swings back and forth between passion and hate. So I found that really, really interesting. Yeah, it is like when you're with someone, it's constantly going between like the positive and the negative. So the only true love that we have is within ourselves. Now he brought up this point because he's like, don't freak out, because you're gonna get in your head and be like, well, I've always thought that I have this deep love for this person, and now you're telling me that's just all fake. And he's like, no, absolutely, that's not true. Within the window of your soul, if you picture it this way, like if there's a crack of light that's coming in, you're bringing that life as yourself, but it doesn't mean that everything was like made up and an illusion. You felt that true love that was brought out with being with that person. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I feel like I'm totally butchering it. You should definitely check out the book, The Power of Now. I'm like, anything that just makes me think outside of the norm of how I would normally think, right? And it's funny because I'm talking about how in general, like, we don't want to overthink. We just want to live in the universal frequency of the universe, which I believe to be love. So if you can find within you that love, no one can add or take any piece of you. So you're not tied to things that you like to do or just anything that we consider like self-identity. We almost need to shatter that, and we need to just live in the here and now and see what happens and trust the universe. Like, for the first time in my life, I really don't have a fear of not being here, and it's not because I don't want to live and I'm just like, it's fine, whatever. Like, I'm not living recklessly. I think I'm relatively responsible, but I would love to have as many more decades as I can to just continue to keep learning and growing and try new experiences. Like, that's what we're here on this earth to do. To step outside of our comfort zone, to try new things, like experience as much as we can while we're here on this earth. So of course I want more time, but I'm not afraid of that time being taken away from me, because I have this trust, I have this connectedness in the collective that I've never really had before, and it has given me a great deal of peace. I've got a long way to go. Like I said, my mind is still gonna go places, but now that we're aware of it, right? Like, that's the first step, to be aware of these thought patterns. And then when it happens, you're not judging yourself and you're like, oh, I'm not making any progress, like I suck. Like, no, we're being gentle, we're giving ourselves grace, we're being kind with ourselves. We're literally just letting the thoughts come and go without judgment. If we feel our bodies start to get tense or build up any kind of uncomfortable emotions, just sit with your body. Just sit with your body and feel all the feels. I can't wait to see what's next in this book. It just makes me excited to keep going down the path that I'm going. But one day at a time. I hope you guys take the time today. Tell the people you love them. Because our connections are so important. But number one, you take care of you. You take care of you, you slow down. When you wash your hands, you're feeling the water run through your fingers. Every little just daily movement like that, take the time to slow down and appreciate, and over time it's gonna make such a difference. I hope everyone is feeling blessed, and I'll talk to you next time.